There are many animals on the earth, but some are so small that no one can see them, while others are so enormous that no one can believe them. Today, we'll talk about some of the invisible species that live on our lovely planet. Number 10. LEPTOCEPHALUS. Every day and evening, LEPTOCEPHALI of American and European eels measuring 5 millimeters in length are found in depths ranging from 50 to 300 meters. Vertical migrations of larger LEPTOCEPHALI occur on a daily basis, and the amount of these migrations increases with increasing body size. Eel larvae are flat and clear, and they can be found in a variety of species of the superorder Elopomorpha. Additionally, they lack pink blood cells until they begin to transition into the juvenile glass eel stage, at which point they begin to appear to be eels themselves. LEPTOCEPHALI are further distinguished by their fang-like enamel, which is present until the time of transformation, after which they are lost. Number 9. Leaf insect. There are about 50 kinds of flat, typically green bugs known as leaf insects, which are distinguished by their hanging leaf-like appearance. Leaf insects are sometimes known as walking leaves. Leaf bugs are pests that feed on crops and can be found in thickly vegetated places. Their natural range stretches from islands in the Indian Ocean to parts of mainland South Asia and Southeast Asia, and on to Papua New Guinea and Australia in the Western Pacific, among other places. Depending on the species, leaf bugs can range in size from 28 to 100 millimeters. Number 8. Leaf-tailed gecko. The leaf-tailed gecko, a long-tailed lizard with a distinctive body shape, is a fascinating creature. Their distinctive tail, which has a leaf-like appearance, distinguishes them from other species. They have a large and triangular skull. They have enormous eyes that are completely devoid of eyelids. They lick their eyeballs on a regular basis in order to keep them wet. If dust gets on or into the eye of the gecko, the lizard removes it in the same way that they moisten the ground, by licking it off with their tongue. The size of this lizard can vary greatly, reaching up to 4 to 12 inches in length when fully grown. When the giant leaf-tailed gecko is born, it is already 2 inches in length, and its tail is already 2 inches in length. The pores and skin of the gecko are similar to the strong bark of a tree, which allows them to hide from predators when necessary. Every one of those lizards' toes contains tens of millions of microscopically small plates, which allow them to move effortlessly on smooth surfaces without the use of their hands. Number 7. Pygmy seahorse. Pygmy seahorses are small fish that, due to their small size and excellent camouflage, are virtually indistinguishable from their natural surroundings. The pygmy seahorses of Bargement can be found in depths ranging from 52.5 to 131 feet. The pygmy seahorses of Bargements grow to a maximum size of 0.94 inches. The pygmy seahorses of Bargement's pygmy reef take on the color of the Gorgonian corals that they choose to live on. Male pygmy seahorses do not use their tail to brood their young, as do other seahorses. Instead, they use a pouch on the inside of their trunk. The Bargement's pygmy seahorse was discovered by coincidence in 1969 on a Gorgonian coral that was being inspected. It was the first pygmy seahorse species to be discovered and was the first to be named after Bargement. Number 6. Japanese screech owl. This robin-sized nightbird can be found throughout much of the eastern United States, including city parks and shaded suburbs, where many human residents are unaware that they have an owl as a neighbor. The owl spends the day resting in holes or in dense vegetation and comes to life at night when the sun sets. Regardless of the name, screech owls do not actually screech. Instead, the species' vocalizations consist of whinnies and mild trills, forages in the evenings and at the end of the day. A big part of its hunting strategy involves waiting from a perch and then diving down to catch prey at the ground or in vegetation. Flying bugs are also caught by the device while in the air 4 to 5, with a typical range of 2 to 8. White incubation is usually carried out by females and lasts an average of 26 days. Number 5. Decorator crabs. As long as the crab remains within the community, it appears to be at ease and at home. Giant decorator crabs do not add as much value as lesser decorator crabs. Plants and animals, on the other hand, should be able to settle, take hold, and grow on the decorator crab's shell without assistance. The decorator crab is not in any danger. Despite this, oil spills and runoff from pesticides, used oil, paint solvents, and other toxic substances damage the species' habitat. Croakers and cabeson, among other fishes, rely on the decorator crab for a significant portion of their nutrition. The shell of a crab does not develop, but the crab itself does. Throughout the molting process, the decorator crab reuses the decorations that were previously on its shell. It takes the anemones, fungus, and other decorations from its previous shell and uses them to embellish its new shell, which is then adorned with them. Number 4. The Satan scorpionfish. A reasonably ugly and uncomfortable trying fish, the Satan scorpionfish is given the species name of Diabolus, which approximately translates as Satan in Latin, and this comes from the fish's reasonably menacing appearances. Because of their extremely varied coloration, they are able to adapt to the many hues and textures of their environment. It has warty pores and skin that is punctured by tiny flaps of tissue. Due to the fact that they are stationary for the majority of the time, algae and other creatures are more likely to develop on them, contributing to their camouflage. They have a characteristic scorpionfish shape, with a head and mouth that are disproportionately large. They have a pretty characteristic hump produced on the back of their necks, which, after you get used to the shape, makes it easier to identify them. The pectoral fins are rounded and brightly colored, suggesting a fold-out fan appearance, but they are generally curled back and on themselves, keeping the bright colors hidden. The tail is short in comparison to the rest of the body, and they are poor swimmers. Number 3. The buff-tip moth. If you blink, you'll probably miss the buff-tip moth, which looks just like a twig from a birch tree and mixes in perfectly with its surroundings. This magnificent insect, which is a night-flying moth, can be found between the months of May and July. The caterpillars are huge, fluffy, and yellow in color, with a black head and a hoop of rapid black stripes around their bodies. They can congregate in great groups at times. The buff-tip flies with its wings held close to its body, giving it the appearance of a birch twig in appearance. Its primary color is silvery gray, and it has a square-cut, buffy head, as well as a buff patch on the end of its wings, which gives it the common name buff patch butterfly. Number 2. The right-eyed flounder. Pleuronectidae, generally known as right-eye flounders, are a family of flounders that includes a variety of species. Right-eye flounders are so named because most species of flounders are found on the ocean's backside, on their left sides, with their eyes on the rightful sides. The Paralichthyidae are an alternative, with their eyes located on the left facet of the faced array. They've been discovered on the seafloors of oceans all around the world, with some species, like the Atlantic halibut, being identified in particular locations. In addition to the several flounder species, they include the European plaice, halibut, lemon sole, common dab, Pacific Dover sole, and flukes, amongst other important commercially fished fish species. Number 1. Oak leaf butterfly. When it comes to natural intelligence, the lifeless leaf butterfly is truly extraordinary. It demonstrates the wonder of camouflaging organisms and the lengths to which nature would go in order to ensure the escape of predators and the ultimate survival of a species in the most extreme circumstances. The oak leaf butterfly's wings are a perfect match with leaf particles in terms of color, texture, and element, as demonstrated by the closed remark. When the wings are closed, the underside of the wings may be seen, which is earthy in shade and has veiny aberrations that plainly resemble the veins of a lifeless leaf. In contrast, the upper side of the butterfly's wings displays an array of blues, yellows, and violet tints, all of which are adorned with eye spots and serve to repel prey while the butterfly is in flight. This natural wonder, however, does not end there. Depending on the season, the lifeless leaf butterfly can be distinguished into 2 unique varieties. And with that being said, it's time to end our video. Which of these invisible animals amaze you? Let us know in the comments. Like this video and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos like this. We'll see you in the next video.